Hi everybody. Today we are going to talk about reading. I have had several questions on reading and I have previously made videos about these, but I'm going to go step by step in detail about exactly how reading is progressed for a child who has just started to learn phonics. So this is the basic. We have 26 alphabets that everybody knows, 5 vowels and 44 sounds. In Jolly Phonics, we only learn about 42 sounds. Here we have vowel sounds that are pure vowels, 7, long and short, 7 and 5, and diphthongs are 8. And the consonant sounds are voiced and voiceless, 15 and 19. And what is voiced and voiceless? Let's look at that. The voiced sounds are where you can hear the sound with a full stop. B, d, g. So bank, dam, goal, van, zip. Voiceless ones are the sounds that you can actually hear with the breath. P, t, k, f, even l, s, ch. So the first step in teaching your kids is first you want to teach your child A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That is the capital alphabets. And then when you're progressing to teaching them small alphabets, then you introduce phonic sounds. For example, you will teach them the name of the alphabets A, B, C, D. That is the name sounds. But for the small letters, you're going to teach them A, B, K, D, and so on. Second step is picking your system. So you're going to pick one school of thought and one school of teaching. Here we have several, but I'm going to pick the most common that you guys may have heard of. That is Jolly Phonics. And the second one is Seigfried Engelmann's method of teaching, that is called direct teaching. So they all have a different method of teaching. So for example, Jolly Phonics has 7 groups. They're actually more than 7 groups, but for introduction purposes, they only teach you 7 groups, and each group has different alphabets and different sounds. Whereas Seigfried Engelmann has the same system. They have several groups and several alphabets that they introduce. So like in Jolly Phonics, they have group 1 and they have ASA-TIPN, and in Seigfried Engelmann's way of teaching, they have the MSA-TRD. The basic reason for that is the child can start reading right away as soon as they finish the group, the first group. Okay, so then you're going to pick your system. That is your step 2. Then the step 3 is you're going to go ahead and do the blending. This is also called as decoding. So once the child knows one of the groups, you're going to start doing t, and start reading, start blending. I want to stop you guys right here and emphasize on how you're teaching your child to read. Do not do the schwa sound like m, at, right? Again, it really depends on how you want to teach your child to read. Students from India learn m, at, and it's okay if you want to teach them that way. The only thing you remember is that when you teach a child m, at, mat, your child will not be able to pronounce correctly as they grow older with teaching. So phonic sounds are very important. So when you're teaching blending, I want to stress on this blending. So many parents have reached out asking me blending words. The first 2 letters are, or the last 2 letters, let me explain. You're not supposed to be blending the last 2 letters. For example, the family of A, where you have at, ab, and ag. You do not blend the last 2. Although you teach them rhymes of the same word, right? Like mat, fat, and cat. You do not want to blend the last 2. You want to blend the first 2. To blend the first 2, and then it's easier to attach the last sound because it's easy to remember, like t, mat, fat, cat, bat, right? Ideally, you do not blend any of them. You just go directly mat, fat. But if your child has difficulty and if you have to blend the 2 letters, make sure you're blending the first 2. Now let me show you an example for kids who have had issues blending, and then you blend the first 2 and attach the last one to it, and therefore you have mat, not fat. You do not want to do that. Okay, so here I have another example. You want to do yes, mat, fat. Don't do at, mat. Don't do that. Okay, so blending the last 2 is no. So I put a cross here. So this is what you do. You do to mat, or the bed, or you can do mat, b bed. So let me show you figure 3.1. So on this side I have all the consonant, and this side I have the vowels, right? Just make sure that C and K are together, because you don't have k and here. The soft and the hard sounds enter here. So you want to check my hard and soft sound video right here. You'll see an I button, and you can click that for the hard and soft sounds. So here you have s and k, right? So that's why I did not add the K here. So I just added the K. And for other sounds, you can just put K elsewhere. But the E and the I do not have the C word here, okay? And then when you go down, scroll down, the same issue is here with the Q, because you don't have too many words with Q and A together. There are some slangs, but not with Q and A together, so quack. So you teach your child ba, be, bi, bo, ba, ka, ke, ki, ko, ko, da, de, di, do, do, and so forth. Okay, so that was step 3. Step 4. So in step 4, we are completing the CVC word families. And this is called decoding. Also, decoding, because now your child is able to break each alphabet and produce a new word with it. T, ab, t, ag. So this is the family, 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 and family. So let me show you the example. These are all the families, and all these pictures I have put up on my Facebook group. I have the link in the description, so you don't have to worry about all the information. It seems like too much information here. So all this information will be there. You can take a screenshot. You can download it in my Facebook group if you like. Okay, so all this I have ready for you. Moving on to sight words. After step 4, you want to throw in some sight words. These are Dulce, high frequency, primer, pre-primer groups. Again, these are just an example of how only a few words need to be introduced to your child as sight words. If you have questions about sight words, I have a link over here. Click over here. 7 activities that you can do for sight words, because sight words kind of are memorized. They have to be shown to the child in the form of flashcards. So here's a few examples of the sight words. Step 6, where you start reading. So this is very important. You want to pick the books that have the words that your child has learned. Okay, like the sight words that your child has learned, and the word families that your child has learned from. And then just pick those. Sentences will be very short, like passages like these. The fat cat is on the mat. Ben fed the hen, invented the pen, so on and so forth. We have started a reading series. If you want to join our reading sessions, click here. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is just play the video and help your child to learn while we are playing the video, so he reads with us. There are also worksheets attached, so you want to check that out. Next is step 7. Introduce ccvc words or cvcc words. So that's consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, and digraphs. Blending. Now these blending will help your child with reading bigger words and also encoding. What is encoding? Encoding is when you tell your child in the way of dictation. When you're giving your child dictation, tell him to write, clap. So he needs to decode it, right, and then encode it. So what's encoding? Encoding is he has to listen to what you said, and then in his mind replay it and be able to write it down. So clap, clap. So he'll be able to write those words down, right? So that's encoding. So we have ccvc words like shop, star, rap, grin, and cvcc words like pass, card, warrant. Okay, and then we have digraphs. So total we have 7 digraphs. There are a few the books that say 8 digraphs, and there are, but we are going to concentrate on these that we have here. So that's ch, and it can also be k, like in school. We have sh, like in shoe. We have th, as in then, and th, as in think, w, as in whale, and f, as in phone. Next step is to introduce long vowel and diphthongs. Long vowels are the sounds of the actual name of the vowels, like A, E, I, O, and U. Simple. Then the words, however, may be in a bigger word. They are not in small CVC short sounds, right? Like not like mad, cat, and fat. These are bathe, faith, keep, tree, ice, dice, open, both, uniform, unite, and stuff like that. Diphthongs have 8 sounds. Step 1, I was just trying to give you information right here, so that we are going on to diphthongs here. I have the words here in Hindi, so just in case you have trouble pronouncing, because this here can be confusing to some people, right? So let's see here. It's ow. So that's brown, crown, town. This is I, like night, fight, and tight. We're only talking about this word right here, not the t. Then we have eh, like place, play, tray, pay, pain. Eh, like fair, pair, stare, care. E as in peer, dear, steer. O as in slow, mo, toe. Oi as in employ, deploy, coin, boy. U as in pure, sure. Next, step 9, introduce magic E or silent E. This is a very important rule. If an E follows another vowel, immediately thereafter or only one letter is in between. Okay, so if it follows another vowel, if E follows another vowel, or if there is one letter in between, then it's usually silent. There are exceptions to the rule, but this is usually silent. So here we have rule. So you cannot hear rule. It's not ruly, it's rule. We have kick, it's not cakey, it's kick, space, it's not spacey, space. Finally, introducing ccvc words and other bigger words, also introducing trigraphs. This is step number 10. I promise we're done. Here we have consonant blending. So I love blending, and I hope this will work for you because this is a lot of information. And here we have 3 groups. Remember, this is very important. I did not mention this in my previous video that I made on digraphs and trigraphs. Therefore, I'm mentioning here. When you are teaching your child blending, they have initial blends have 3 groups, L, R, and S, which I did mention in that video. But what I forgot to mention is when you're teaching your child blending, you always start with the L group because this is very common. Many words that they have already heard, and secondly, your child will be able to roll his tongue when he's doing the blending, so he'll get the blah, cl, fl, gl, blah. You know, it's easy for them to blend it. So blob, black, blood, clock, clash, club, flower, flow, glow, glad, glass, plate, please, plug, slow, slam, slate, stuff like that. So that's very easy for them to blend the L group. And then when a child is able to do this, then you can get to the groups R and S. So thus we have R group here, br, kr, dr, fr, grum, rup, tr. We have S groups, sk, sk, sm, sn, sp, st, and sw. Okay, and again, don't worry about this. I'm just going through this, I'm just skimming through this, but you guys have the pictures of this on my Facebook group and on my Facebook page, so you guys can just download it from my Facebook group or take a screenshot on my Facebook page. Those were the initial blending of the digraphs, right? This is the final blend. The final blend is okay, so it's the blend at the end of the word. So that's act, craft, adopt, okay, all the way to st. Then we have silent blend. This I did not mention in my previous videos. Silent blends again have initial and final blends, like WR in the initially, like wrong, right, rap. So here it's silent because you cannot hear the W in it. So it's wrong, right, rap, rap, reap. Knock, same thing. You cannot hear the K in it. It's knock, knife, knit, knock off, and knickers. Final blends, you cannot hear the n in it, but you may hear the schwa sound in this, like autumn, column, solemn, condemn, and damn, numb, dumb, tomb, womb, limb, and comb. Next, we are moving on to vowel blending. Again, when you're teaching your child, you gotta go slow with these things. When you're reaching vowel blending, it's a really, really difficult time when they're reading because there's so many different sounds that this will make. So you want to make sure your child is thorough before you're introducing it, and just introduce a few letters first and few sounds first before you start going deeper into it. I would recommend starting with one group only, like the long vowel pattern A, and stick with it. If you introduce too many, it's confusing for the children. So here we have different sounds for each of the 5 vowel pattern, and if you look at each one, all these make the same sound E, all this makes the same sound I, all this make the same sound O and U and A. Here I've written, I will attach long sounds words shortly because I wanted to go in depth and write down each word what type of words would make that sound, which I'm going to, and I will put that up on my Facebook page. Next is the trigraphs. Just like the digraphs, we have the initial blending with the trigraphs, and here we have okay. So the trigraphs are nothing but 3 letters that make one sound, and digraphs are 2 letters that make one sound. So here we have spl, spra, squa, stra, and thr. So these are the words that are trigraphs initial blend. Here we have the trigraphs final blends. Final blends again are air, r, ear, j, ch, t, or, and I've added this one, which is not very common. You won't see these and in the final blends. And that's about it for teaching your child how to read. I hope this video was useful. Please reply in the comment section below if you have any questions. Teach your child capital A, B, C, D name sound, but small letters you're going to teach them eh, b, k. Then you're going to pick a system. You want Jolly Phonics or you want Seigfried Engelmann? Both are great. Then you want to teach your child CVC words. You go directly to CVC words. You do not do at to at, okay? So go direct at. You don't want to do that. Go directly to CVC words and blend 3-letter words. If they have difficulty, you want to go ahead and blend the first 2 letters. If you do happen to blend the initial 2 letters, make sure you're following this pattern, where you're blending the vowel and the consonant and making alphabet sounds like ba, be, bi, bo, b. Step number 4, you're going to complete the CVC word families called decoding. And again, I have all the CVC word families, and we're doing reading sessions on that, so make sure you check out our videos. Sight words, Dolch words, we have a video on that one too. Make sure you check that out. Then you can start reading short stories, short passages, short lines. Again, this is a part of a reading session too. Introduce ccvc words and digraphs. Again, this is blending, this is digraphs, all here. Introduce long vowel sounds, 5 sounds, diphthongs. Step 9 is to introduce the magic E sign, because it's kind of a little confusing for kids. And then step 10 finally is to introduce digraphs, trigraphs, and quadrigraphs if possible. So we have 3 groups, L, R, and S. Make sure you start with the L first, then progress to R and S. And then finally final blends with that. Then go ahead with silent blends, vowel blends, and trigraphs and digraphs. Let me know how you like this video in the comment section. I'm uploading loads of videos. Step by step, I'm being thorough with what I'm uploading. So I'm going to upload the long A sounds, all of these, the words that go with these, and I'm going to put those pictures up on my Facebook group. So make sure you check out our Facebook group, make sure you check out our Facebook page, and get all the information that you need to homeschool your child. If you have any questions, make sure you comment below. We're also doing the Jolly Phonics worksheet in case you're interested in it. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and there's a notification bell icon. Please hit that bell icon. Thank you very much. Happy homeschooling.